Hello, everyone. You're welcome to day 8 of Nexogirls Upskill 2.0 program. We've had amazing speakers from day 1 up to today, and it's the final day. I hope we're all ready to master the basics of our 8th tech skill. You're welcome.
Every journey they say begins with a single step, but I say that it is the unique footprints we leave that truly defines us. I am Eunice Adeosi, and my journey began as a response to the challenges I witnessed growing up. Raised in a small family that struggled financially after losing my father at age 9, I faced harsh realities. However, instead of giving up, I saw this as an opportunity to empower myself and other females in similar situations. My gap year was when I discovered my passion for tech, advocacy, leadership, and volunteering. Driven by a strong desire to alleviate poverty and challenge gender stereotypes that I noticed in my rural community at the time in Lagos State, Nigeria, I founded Female Youth Global Empowerment, an NGO that equips young women with globally demanded skills to narrow gender gap in tech by promoting digital literacy and fostering the inclusion of women in STEM fields. So far, we have reached over 2,500 youths. I organized the Global 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence campaign at ALU. The campaign brought together diverse advocates from 15 African countries, India, Haiti, and Japan, and we reached a total of 34,796 people with our message.
Hello everyone, my name is Blessing and I've been volunteering with the Female Youth Global Empowerment for the past 3 years. And being part of FYGE has been incredibly amazing, I must say. I've had the opportunity to network with people, make new friends, likes of Salma, Kimiradin, Pixel, Sophia, and so many others. And I've also had the opportunity to work in different teams as a team member and also a team leader. And yeah, it's really been an amazing moment with FYG. And one of my favorite moments was in 2021, December, where we had the 1-week intensive digital training class, Upskill 1.0. And I was part of the participants. I had the opportunity to learn different things about the importance of LinkedIn optimization, brand marketing, brand awareness, content creation, the importance of volunteering, and it was really an eye-opener for me. And I feel it's moments like this that reminds me of the impact we are making here at FYG. So yeah, I'm really proud to be part of an organization that is making a real difference in the lives of young girls. And I'm excited to see what the future brings.
Hi, I'm the Moderator, and I was an official of FYG's Upskill program in 2021. I learned about 80 digital skills in 8 days and got certified. FYG helped me discover my passion for technology and web development. Also helped my passion for content writing to be more intense. One of the skills we taught was web development. One who is interested in web development, I found this lesson very engaging and very valuable, and that's why after the Upskill program I decided to further pursue web development by enrolling in a training where I learned how to use HTML and CSS to create a 3-page website on my phone. In essence, the Upskill program opened my eyes to see hidden gems in web development. Another skill was freelancing, which was taught by Lena Robert, where I learned how to use my skills to make more money. So I'm someone who is passionate about content writing and SEO. The freelancing class opened my eyes to certain platforms where I can actually earn money and I will not be restricted by monthly pay. I never thought that I was actually going to learn so much in just 8 days and get certified, but FYG made this possible and I'm super grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, FYG.
These are just few of the many success stories FYG has helped to create through education, digital, and we are shaping the next future female leaders.
We cannot wait for the government to cause a change, which is why I believe in grassroots initiatives to provoke the change that we want to see.
International ambitions by young girls have created a more inclusive and equitable society. Pieces are linked to learn more about how the can get involved.
Thank you, and I can't wait for the exciting experiences ahead.
We can make a difference.
Together we can make a difference. We just had the testimonials from our last session, from our last upskill tech session, and the experiences that the people that benefited from it had. Now we've gotten to the last day of this particular edition, and we've been able to learn the basics of 7 of the tech skills we're bringing. We promised cybersecurity, we promised public speaking, we promised community management, we promised video editing, personal branding, product analytics and management, freelancing and no-code web development. And so far, so good. We've been able to bring forward speakers who have taught these basics of 7 out of these 8 skills. So I don't know if you were here. I'd like to introduce myself to you all. My name is Eniola Ibrahim Cynthia. I'm a volunteer at Nexogirls. I'm a content curator and writer. And I would like to lay down some housekeeping rules, the rules in this meeting we're having. The first rule is that you should feel free to share your questions or your comments in the comment section. Just don't worry, just write your questions, type in your comments. I would relate your questions to the speaker during the Q&A segment. Also, it's important to note that this session is being recorded for promotional and educational purposes, which means when you write a comment, your profile picture could actually surface and that could be made public. So by participating via chat, you are consenting to your comments being visible in the recording. Also, if you experience any interruption during the live stream, just try refreshing your browser or checking your internet connection. Make sure to switch to full screen mode if you are joining the live with your mobile phone for a better experience with the slides. About Nexo Girls, if this is your first time joining us, you would be unaware of the fact that Nexo Girls is a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting gender equity and digital literacy amongst young women. From the testimonials you've heard, we are all about creating a change in the world. We don't want to wait for the government. We want to be able to create a change amongst the young women by encouraging them to participate in science, tech, engineering, arts, mathematics fields, and also in social advocacy, so that we can alleviate the level of poverty and we can also stop gender stereotype, which is why we have this program called the Upskill program. And it's supposed to be a transformative 8 days program to equip you with fundamental knowledge in 8 essential skills, spanning technology, leadership, and personal development. It is aimed at empowering you with practical and in-demand skills. You notice all the skills I listed before. Those are the hot and seasoned skills that in this century, in this time, you should have knowledge, if not basic knowledge of these skills. From our yesterday's session, we had some feedback. Someone said it was very good and comprehensive. Another person said today's session was fire emojis. It was really straightforward, easy to comprehend, and handled like a true PM. The session was fully packed, and I'm so happy I got to learn about product management and analytics. Great job to the speaker. Yeah, I'm so happy too. Now, we are going to introduce our guest speaker for today. Drum roll, please. Okay, so let's see who we have for today. Wow. Isn't it just benefiting, that the speaker we're having at the last day of our session is the CEO of Nexogirls herself, Miss Salimat Bello. Please, can we welcome Miss Salimat Bello to enlighten us on our 8th tech skill? Miss Salimat Bello, are you in the house, please? Miss Salimat, are you there? We can't hear you. Miss Salima, we can't hear you. Hello, Miss Salima. We can't hear you now. Can you leave and rejoin the call? Okay, while we wait for Miss Salima to regain our network and for my audio issues. Let's continue to listen to in case you missed out on some part of the testimonial, let's continue to listen to the video.
Every journey they say begins with a single step, but I think that it is the unique.
Okay, it seems our speaker for today is back. Can you hear us now? Can we hear you? Oh no, we can't still hear you.
Unique footprints we leave that truly defines us. Hi there, I am Eunice Adeosi, and my journey began as a response to the challenges I witnessed growing up. Raised in a small family that struggled financially after losing my father at age 9, I faced harsh realities. However, instead of giving up, I saw this as an opportunity to empower myself and other females in similar situations. My gap year was when I discovered my passion for tech, advocacy, leadership, and volunteering, driven by a strong desire to alleviate poverty and challenge gender stereotypes that I noticed in my rural community at the time in Lagos State, Nigeria. I founded Female Youth Global Empowerment, an NGO that equips young women with globally demanded skills to narrow gender gap in tech by promoting digital literacy and fostering the inclusion of women in STEM fields. So far, we have reached over 2,500 youth. I organized the Global 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence campaign at ALU. The campaign brought together diverse advocates from 15 African countries, India, Haiti, and Japan.
Welcome back, Miss Salima.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Finally, yes, we can hear you.
So sorry for the technical issue.
Fine, can happen to anyone. You're welcome, Miss Salima.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Good evening, and thank you, Eniola, for that brief introduction. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be part of the team. I'm also happy to be part of the speakers for Upskill 2.0. I'm glad to have everyone on board. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
You're welcome, Miss Salima.
Okay. So I hope, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can. Can see your
All
screen.
right. So can everyone hear me?
Yes, you're good to go, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. So today I'll be taking you through public speaking, sharing my experiences, my ups and downs, and like all in all, and how I'm able to get to where I am today in public speaking, and the lessons I've learned, the mistakes that I've made, and all that. So that is what I will be sharing today. So this is just the agenda overview. We'll be talking about the background of public speaking. We'll be having an icebreaker session, and we'll be discussing why public speaking matters. We'll be talking about goals of public speaking. Please, if I'm too fast, let me know. So we'll be talking about tips on how to improve your public speaking skills, how to boost your confidence, how to engage your audience when you're engaging in public speaking, and lastly, overcoming the fear of public speaking. Then we conclude. So that is what I have for you all today. So I'm going to start with the icebreaker section. And for me, I don't think we should answer all the questions now, but I will just take a few questions. Then when we are done with the session, we can come back to answering these questions. So like my first question I'm going to ask, I'm going to take it from the bottom, and it goes like, what comes to your mind when you hear public speaking? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello,
the
guys.
participants are typing it in the YouTube live comment.
Okay. Okay. You can say a word, you can say a sentence, you can define public speaking, but that one thing that first comes to your first impression, and like when you hear the word public speaking, what comes to your mind? How can you relate to it? How can you define it? What does it mean to you? Yes. Anyway, any language, any word, any sentence that resonates with the definition of public speaking. Okay. So we move on. While we're waiting for the definition and the icebreaker session, since nobody, like people are typing in the comment section, we can just move on. Then we come back to that to save time, because today is the last day, and like I must really commend everyone that has been participating from the very first day, and it has not been easy. We know that, and we appreciate your effort for participating. So I will just continue. Then we come back to the icebreaker session later. Thank you. Am I good to go?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to start with the background of public speaking, like things that leads to public speaking, how public speaking is being perceived by different people, the definitions, different opinions based on personality, based on individual, collectivity, based on society. But generally, we are going to be talking about public speaking as an art of delivering a message to a live audience in a structured and deliberate manner. And when we talk about structure in public speaking, it has to do with the message you're trying to pass on to the audience, the message that you're trying and a form of communication that can shape perceptions. Yeah, like public speaking is a very vital skill in this century that we have. Like you really need to have it. If you don't have it yet, you really need to have it because it helps a long way. It helps you in communicating. It helps you it helps you in like career advancement, leadership development, and all that. So it shapes perceptions, it influences decisions, and it inspires change. You know, public speaking has been that instrument that we've seen that has been used in the world now. It is changing because we have social impact change makers, advocate, they use their voice, they communicate to people, you know, and the world is actually becoming, it's gradually becoming a better place to live in due to public speaking. But historically, public speaking has to be a cornerstone of human interaction, integral to culture, politics, education, and society at large. Like public speaking helps our daily activities. It helps us to I'm so sorry for the breaking transmission. Can you guys hear me now? I'm so sorry for the breaking transmission. And all that, because I remembered one of Chimamanda's presentation about the Igbo culture really helped me.
Miss Salima, can you change your network provider? Seems your network is poor. Miss Salima, is your connectivity better now?
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Okay.
So we'll be moving on to the key component of public speaking. When we talk about public speaking, what are those structures? What are those things that are in place? What are those things we need to know? What are those things we need to put together when it comes to public speaking? So firstly, it is the message. Message, what you're trying to pass on to your audience is very, 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 very important. Please take note of the emphasis on message, on how important it is. You really need to understand the message as a speaker before you go out there to speak to your audience. Because sometimes there are some issues whereby you are engaging your audience and you get to a point, you are lost, and your audience are the one taking charge of your presentation. Sometimes it causes embarrassment, and I'm very sure an aspiring public speaker or a pro public speaker would not want to experience that. So as a public speaker, one thing you should know is that it is very important for you to understand the message you are trying to pass on to your audience. So message, it's the core idea or theme that the speaker wishes to communicate. The center of your message, what you're trying to communicate, what are you trying to let people know? What is that cause that you're trying to fight for? What is that thing you're advocating for? So like, it's so important for you to understand and have an idea of what you really want to say before you just get on that podium or get on that camera and start engaging people, because a clear and well-structured message is the foundation of an effective public speaking. And one thing I tell people is that I know it is not easy when it comes to public speaking. Many people are scared, they have stage fright, they panic, they become anxious when they're in front of a large crowd. But one thing I usually tell people is that you see your audience don't know what you want to tell them. You're the one that know what you want to tell them. And I know that along the line that sometimes we forget our lines when we are speaking to people. You just have to, patch it and just move on. Because nobody knows, the audience does not know the message you're trying to pass on to them. It is just you that knows this thing that you want to tell them. So when there is that mistake, when there is that flaw, just continue. Yeah, so nobody dictates the message, because sometimes you see some speakers, they digress from the message they were passing on because maybe they forgot what they wanted to say, but they just chip that in. And you can just crack a joke just before you can always remember the main important message. So the second one is the structure. How well organized is your speech? Is it clarified? Is it straightforward? Can people understand it? And when we talk about structuring in public speaking, it involves three things: the introduction, the body, and we have the conclusion. So for introduction, you can start your introduction as a public speaker using a hook or an anecdote, a short story. You can use a fact that has been proven. Please, like when you're using a fact or a statistics, you really need to make research on that before you use it. Please take note. So you use something that is catchy, something that when the audience, when they hear that, their attention is drawn to you. Because last month I was at a leadership event for it lasted 3 days, and I wasn't paying attention to everything other speakers have been saying, but there was this particular speaker that caught my attention. And why was I drawn to his presentation? I was drawn because of the way he started. And he started well and he ended well. I'm not going to lie to you. Throughout the training, I usually sleep. But when he got to his turn to speak and the way he started his introduction, the catchy message he presented caught my attention, and I literally stayed awake till he finished his presentation. So you really need to be mindful of the kind of introduction you use so that it doesn't bore the audience. Another thing is the body, and the body has to do with how you present your argument or your ideas to sorry for that, how you present your ideas in the body of your presentation. What are you trying to communicate? What is your stand? What are you advocating for? What are you proposing for? Which idea are you sharing? What do you want people to buy? Because I believe a public speaker is someone who is trying to sell something new to his or her audience. So when you are trying in a market scenario, when you're trying to sell something, you really need to convince your listeners, your audience. So how well are you doing this? It has to be in the body. How well do you deliver the body of your speech? And the last one is conclusion. The concluding part of a speech is very, very important. And we have different ways you can conclude. When it comes to public speaking, you can conclude by making a recommendation. You can conclude by summarizing your vital point. You can conclude by giving a call to action. You can conclude in several ways. You can conclude with a short story. But I would like to tell you tonight that when you're concluding, please do not introduce a new idea. You really need to conclude based on what you've been saying. For instance, you are talking about power outage in Lagos. Please, you've mentioned the challenges, you said everything. Don't bring in motherhood into power outage. Don't bring in don't say for instance, you're saying because you're discussing on power outage, then you say, sorry, excuse me, then you say you relate the power outage in Lagos State to motherhood, like how it affects mother. We know power outage affects everyone, but you just need to conclude your presentation based on what you've been discussing so far. So when it comes to conclusion, please do not introduce a new idea. And in conclusion, we have what we call to action. When we are talking about call to action, it simply means that you're trying to tell people what to do next. What are those actions they need to take? Maybe in your community, there are some challenges and you spoke on these challenges. How are you able to convince the audience on how to take actions, how to impact, how to better the community, something like that. Another way is summarizing your vital points. If you know you are lost and you don't know what to do, you can just summarize all the important points that you've made in your presentation so far. And another important way of concluding is recommendation. You can always recommend for your audience, because like I said earlier on, public speakers are seen as marketers who share ideas, who shares new products, who inform people. And you should always remember that public speakers are people that the society look up to. So your audience easily buy into your idea. So you really need to take note of that. And when you give the recommendation, they can easily buy into it and
Hello, Miss Salima. Oops. I think our network is down again. Are you back now, Miss Salima? You're muted.
So sorry. I don't know why I'm having a network issue, but it is fine. So we move on to rhetoric. It has to do with persuasion, how were you able to to present your speech, your message, how were you able to tailor it to what the audience want from you. And it has been discovered that public speakers often employ rhetoric strategies such as ethos. Ethos has to do with the ethical part of speaking, or the ethical way of presenting your message. It has to do with the credibility of the information you are giving to your audience. And another way is pathos, which is the emotional appeal. How are you able to, relate that specific topic you are discussing with the audience? Is it something that the audience are really interested in? And it's actually very good to actually seek, make research on what your audience wants before you go out to speak, so that, because it's very important to know what resonates with your audience before you start structuring the message or the speech you want to deliver. So For instance, you have some issue or you're speaking on issues about diseases in the community, and it's not everybody that is being affected, but emotionally, how can you relate this to every participant that is at that conference or wherever you are giving your speech? How can you use emotions to draw the attention of your audience to the message you are trying to deliver? And the last one is logical argument. We call that logos. This has to do with the logical way, the critical thinking, the critical part of your message, how well you are able to use scientific part, how well you're able to use statistics, how well you're able to use data to convince your audience. Like, you just need to appear as a logical public speaker. You really need to know what you are doing when it comes to public speaking. And the last component I'll be talking about is going to be audience. I say one thing, when you are dealing with people, if the people are not there, you are not delivering anything. And I like the fact that this also goes with democracy, because they give definition of democracy as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, because the people are very important in whatever we do in life that has to do with society. So your audience, they are let me say, they are the backbone of your presentation. So you really need to understand your audience. You really need to know what they want. You really need to know what they expect from you. You really need to know what they need. Like in community development, before we go out or before we plan that we really want to do something, and I'm going to use this present Upskill 2.0 as an example, because we had different soft skills we selected initially, and we went through each of these soft skills, and we made a lot of research, survey, and we came to the conclusion of just doing this 8, because from what the feedbacks we got from people, we discovered that these are just the 8 outstanding soft skills people need to learn in 2024. In 2025, it might be different. So that is how you are able to understand your audience. We know different people signed up for different sessions. You only do what resonates with you, what you are really interested in, or what you're having difficulty in. So that is when understanding your audience comes in from. So it's a very essential part on how to deliver your message so they can get it. So it won't be like as if you're fetching water into an empty basket. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, there's an impact. So imagine you working, doing everything, speaking, engaging people, and at the end of the day, there is no impact being recorded. It's kind of painful and all that. So engage your audience, even if it is business, if it's professionals or in political constitute, try to engage or carry them along. It's very painful when you're engaging people in public speaking and you ask them for feedbacks and they're not able to give just one thing that they've learned so far. So that is why it is very important to engage. And when you're engaging your audience, we have different ways you can do that. Engaging your audience, use non-verbal, use verbal, ask questions, engage them. I remember there was this training I went to, and the speaker said he was not going to talk. He just wanted the audience to ask questions from him. And that was how he presented. The people were just asking questions. And that was it. So he actually lectured, he spoke based on what people have been asking, because he's a filmmaker. So it was like, what do you want me to present on? So I would rather tackle the challenges or those things that have been bothering your mind and you want me to answer. I would rather answer that than me saying that I want to have a presentation, because my presentation might not meet your suit, might not meet what your expectations. Do you get? And that is another logic way of public speaking. You can just go there, engage your audience, ask them, tell them to ask you questions, and you make your presentation based on that. So I think those are the 4 key points the 4 key components of public speaking. Then we move to the next slide. This is like, it's an important part of the presentation that I'll be making today, because most times people don't really know about public speaking, and for those that really know, they have little knowledge about it and how it can actually how it can positively affect their professional and personal growth. So this next level is going to be on why public speaking matters. Why do you even think you really need to go for public speaking? Why do you think you really need to take public speaking as a soft skill? Why do you think you really need to, you really need to engage in public speaking? You really need to know it, understand it, and use it. The first point is leadership development. Like, public speaking is a key criteria in leadership development because it helps individuals become better at articulating ideas, leading discussions, and making decisions that affect others. So generally, public speaking skills can make leaders more approachable, trustworthy, and effective in their role. Like, it's, as a public speaker, you have more advantage over others who you might be shy, you might be timid, but once they see you in that room and they've seen that, oh, this person is here, it actually gives you an edge. Sometimes we look at the leaders we select and be like, how come this person got elected into this position? But maybe the person has this leadership development skill. Maybe this person has a better public speaking skill. It's like in life, it's not about the personality. It's about those things that you can offer, those things that people have noticed about you, those things that people know that, oh yes, you have them. You might not even know that you have all these things, but people know that you truly have those things. And that is how it begins. So public speaking plays a vital role in leadership development. It helps you to engage with your audience. It helps you to be in positions. It earns you honor. It helps you to develop yourself as a leader. Yeah. And another point is communication skills. Like, when we think about public speaking and we think about communication, they're intertwined, they're almost similar because you communicate. In public speaking, you communicate. It's actually an avenue to communicate to people. So public speaking is a vital aspect of effective communication, because being able to express thoughts, ideas, and information clearly as an individual in front of an audience helps individuals develop both verbal and non-verbal communication skills. So when it comes to public speaking, we have the verbal skills, the verbal and non-verbal communication skills. It's actually very important when you are in public speaking scenario. It's actually very essential and very important to connect with your audience. And when I say connect with your audience, it simply means that you make eye contact with your audience, you engage with your audience, because you've understood what they want, because you help them to express their thought. You help them to express their ideas. You look into it, then you make corrections where necessary. So it's actually very, very important as a public speaker to understand the verbal and non-verbal communication. And when we are talking about verbal and non-verbal communication in public speaking, you really need to take note of some things. For instance, language. Okay, like recently I went to Kenya to study, and I have a Malawian friend, and my Malawian friend, I think these people have similar words they use, like the Kiswahili and Chichewa. Chichewa is the language they speak in Malawi. And he said there are some words that mean something different entirely in Kiswahili. And when you say this word in Chichewa, it means something different. So he was very, very conscious of using those words. So it doesn't matter this thing. So it's actually very important when you are engaging your audience to know kind of words or the language to use. The way you speak to Nigerian audience is different from the way you speak to an audience in China, because I think we have something called universal language or universal emojis that you really need to study when you are engaging your audience. And another thing is the non-verbal aspect of communication. You really need to engage your audience. You really need to understand, you really need to understand some certain non-verbal communication. I'm a Yoruba girl, and from childhood, like from little, they teach us that I'm so sorry to use that as an example, being a Yoruba girl, but I just have to say this. As a Yoruba girl, we were raised to use more of non-verbal communication. There are some signs that are being given to us about our parent, and automatically you know what it means, maybe to stop something, don't say this. And that is why it is very important to read the room when you are presenting, because sometimes you might have an inclusive engagement with people, like maybe persons with disability, and you just really need to employ the non-verbal communications to communicate. To imagine, maybe for instance, you are delivering a message to a group of people or to an audience, and you have someone who is maybe visually impaired, you have someone with ear impairment and all that. You really need to carry your audience along. You can't just conclude or assume that your audience are all the same. So communication skills is an essential and effective part of public speaking. How you are able to express yourself, how you are able to connect with your audience, how you are able to pass on the message to your audience. It's actually a very good skill to learn in this century. Aside from public speaking, communication skills is an essential skill that you really need to learn or look into. Another importance of career public speaking is career advancement. And this simply means the ability to speak well in public places, and which helps you to secure greater job opportunities, promotion, professional recognition. As a newbie or as an amateur that is starting public speaking, just look at this scenario whereby you were able to get a good contract for your company that you work with, you automatically get promotion. Or you speak well, everybody likes the way you engage them when it comes to customer, employer and employee relationship. It gives you professional recognition. It makes people see that, oh yeah, this person is a professional at what he or she does. And when it comes to greater opportunities, when it comes to professional recognition, I have some people that I know that I look up to in that area. I know Vusi he is a South African that has really made a niche for himself in public speaking. Another person is Chimamanda, a Nigerian novelist. She has really, really done a lot in public speaking. So these are the people that you can literally look up to, because it has really helped them. And when you look at these people, how they started then and how far they've gone, you can see the huge gap. You can see the career advancement. You can see the opportunities they've gotten. You can see the promotion. You can see the professional recognition along the line. So it's an effective public speaking can distinguish someone from peers in competitive work environment. For instance, if you are in let me use this. If you're in a competition with someone like Chimamanda or Vusi, you automatically know the person that is going to get that opportunity. And another thing I know that people use well is that maybe, for instance, someone who finished from Harvard University and you that finished from a certain university, there's this recognition that is given to people because they know that this is what you do. Another person that I can use as an example is V Katibu, this Zimbabwe girl. The way she does, I feel like public speaking and advocacy has taken V to places she never imagined. It has gotten her so many opportunities, scholarships, promotions. She I think she's volunteering with UN now. So that is what we mean when we say public speaking helps in career advancement. The last point I'll be talking on is public speaking really matters because it helps to share knowledge and inspire change. I've mentioned a lot of people who are doing so well in social advocacy. Eunice is an example. We have Theodora, I have myself. We've been using our mouth to, advocate for things that we know does not sit right in the society. It has really helped us to widen in our expertise, in our knowledge and passion with the audience, and how to relate with an audience. And when it comes to sharing of knowledge and it comes to public speaking, as Salimat is concerned, I was a very shy person, and I think I'm still a very shy person. I could remember that when I was in my junior school, class 3, I was the senior prefect girl, and the Christian assembly prefect was not around. I know as I was the senior prefect girl then, nobody was ready to take control the assembly or take charge and lead praise and worship. And as a Muslim, I was like, where do I start from? I was so shy. I was asked to pray. It was so obvious that I was fidgety. I attended a government school, a community government school in Lagos State. So you should know what I'm saying when I say crowd. Standing in front of students of 2,000. And I could not, I was fidgeting. People could tell that something was really wrong because I was so scared. I didn't even know how to start. Then guess what? My civic education teacher just walked up to me. She took the mic from me and she said, Bello, these are the same set of people you see every day. These are the same set of people who are your friends, who you talk to, who you joke with. So why are you afraid to stand before them? Why are you afraid to pray? And that was how I began my journey in public speaking. Then from there, I started using the mirror. You see me at home, I talk to the mirror. Whenever I'm alone, I will talk. I was trying to build myself. And I got myself dictionary to build my vocabulary. From me talking to myself before the mirror, I started talking to my friends. I would just sit them down because honestly, my senior secondary school mates really suffered from my hand because I really used them to build my self-confidence. I will not lie. I really used these people and they really helped me. So I started with my friends. Then from there, I started with my classmates. My teachers will come into the class, they will want to teach. Then I tell them, don't teach. Don't worry, I will teach. Then I will take the notes from the teacher. I will teach. I will explain. I started gradually. From me talking to myself, talking to the mirror, talking to my friends, I started talking to my classmates. Then it generated to me talking to that 2,000 plus students on the assembly ground. You see me, I was the head girl throughout primary schools, junior schools, senior secondary school. So you see me, when I go to my senior secondary school, I was always leading the assembly, even though I was not the assembly prefect, but I was just always there. I really wanted it. I really wanted to look into people's face, make eye contact with them, see my friend laugh at me, at my mistakes, tell me and correct me. And that was how it started for me. So public speaking allows me to do that, to share their knowledge. I've been able to communicate to my mates, I've been able to teach them, I've been able to lecture them, and it's something that it's something that you should be passionate about, whether it is teaching, mentoring, inspiring others. The ability to communicate actually have profound impact on others. Sometimes people come to me to ask me some certain things that I don't even have any idea of, but when I speak, I just want to talk. So when I say that thing, they feel like, oh, wow, you have this, and I've been suffering in one corner. I'll be like, I didn't even know where this came from. And I remembered when I gave vote of thanks when I was graduating my senior secondary school. I went there, I didn't hold the paper, I said it, and I was feeling bad that I didn't present well. But I got compliment from people that, oh, you did well, you did this, your speech really impacted us and all that. Me, I was actually feeling that I didn't do anything, but to them, they saw it. So that is the impact. Public speaking really matters because it helps us to impact people, to teach, to inspire, and to mentor. So I will briefly go through this, and I'll be taking you through. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you guys can see my screen, if my screen is bold enough.
Yes, your screen is bold enough.
All right, thank you. So another area that we'll be looking at is the key goals of public speaking. When we talk about the goals, what are the foundation? What are those things that needs to be that is so important for you to put in place when it comes to public speaking? One thing is inform. Informing your audience is one of the primary goals of public speaking, which is to share information with the audience. And this could be anything from presenting facts, statistics, to explaining a complex topic or concept in a way that is clear and easy to understand. As a public speaker or an aspiring public speaker, it is actually very important to note that you don't use ambiguous words that has several meanings, or words that are very, very difficult to understand. You don't need to speak grammar. Speak the language that your audience will understand. Speak the language that your audience will be able to comprehend. Speak the language that will make your audience to understand the message that you are passing on to them. And it's actually very important to know that when you're engaging people, you really need to read the room. Sometimes if you're in a very good public speaker will not go to like a country or a place where the language they speak, or a place where English is not their first language. So you really need to study the room and know what your audience want, how you can pass the information to them. For instance, I've engaged in different community service in Kenya, and I noticed that everywhere you go to in Kenya, they speak Kiswahili. They don't to them, they believe to them, they think everybody is a Kiswahili speaker. So everywhere you get to, they greet you sawa sawa. Then you, as an English speaker, you just need to tell them that you don't understand Kiswahili. So if you are someone like that, my first community engagement in Kenya was really difficult for me because I don't understand Swahili as a person. I'm a Yoruba girl from Nigeria, and that was just, I was still new in the environment. So I could not relate with my audience. I could not pass my message. I had to look for an interpreter. Yeah, you can get an interpreter, but at least you should know one or two of the language, or what the language or the words that your audience understand. Another area or another key goal is persuasion, how you persuade your audience. Persuasion is a central goal in public speaking situations, especially in business, politics, or advocacy. How are you able to convince
Oh, I think our network is bad. Okay, it seems our speech has network connectivity is trying to spoil things for us, but let's wait for her. She's at this slide. She was talking to us about the key goals of public speaking. Please remember that if you have any questions about what she has said so far, you can write it. So type it out in the comment section and we are going to answer. She's going to answer every question you have. Welcome back, Miss Salima. Welcome. Can we hear you? Can you unmute so we can? Are you here now? Can you speak so we can know if we can hear you?
Salimat, can you stop sharing your screen and also put off your camera so that Eniola is sharing for you already, so you just use from my end. Probably that would make the network friendly.
It seems that audio issues are back. I can't hear her. Are you here? Miss Salima, can you speak?
Salma, we can't hear you. We still cannot hear you.
Welcome back,
Um,
Miss Salima.
thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. But to
Thank
cope these network issues, I would be sharing your screen so
All
you
right.
can.
All right. Thank you. So I think I stopped around persuasion. So when like a key goal or a vital part of public speaking is how you are able to persuade your audience to buy into the idea or the recommendation or your presentation. And another thing is advocacy. Like recently I discovered from a research that I did that many women don't really know about their reproductive health. They don't really know about some challenges they have. They don't really know how to channel that, such as we have like PCOS. And I've been like gradually developing an advocacy around that area to like persuade them to invest more in their reproductive health. Like you just like the main center of your public speaking um the main center of your public speaking engagement is just how you're able to like include, engage, and involve your audience in whatsoever you are trying to pass on to them. We discovered that persuasive speakers present argument, evidence, and emotional appeals to influence the listeners. So I move on to how public speaking helps to build relationships. Have told you, like I said earlier on, public speaking is just that avenue whereby you make meaningful connections and you network with people from different fields. You can just go to a training, a conference, or a seminar, then you meet people. You just network and you can tell. And I'm going to give a scenario of how I got to meet Eunice. I got to meet Eunice during one of those competitions that is held by Education District 1 to those days, History and Current Affairs. And she saw me, I saw her, and that was how we started. And we're like, I need to follow this girl. And she too was like, okay, fine. After that, afterwards, we met at different programs organized by District 1. There was this particular leadership training that lasted for like, I think a week or two. And that was how we were able to like build our relationship. And I really need to say this here. Like the kind of people you have in your network will really, really help you. I don't know if she will be comfortable if I say this, but I just have to say this here. Like one of the people that really helped me to get my MasterCard Foundation scholarship is Eunice, because she got it. And because I know that somebody in my network got a scholarship, I told her about my school and she was like, apply. She got me the resources and all that. So that is the importance of building relationship when it comes to public speaking. Those people you are able to connect with. And mind you, you don't really need everybody in your life. Just because somebody said in public speaking, you really need to build relationships. You also really need to watch out for the kind of people you associate yourself with, people that either mar or make you better. So please be really careful when you're building your relationship, but you also need a relationship to grow. You need that network of people that are going to push you to success. So you really need that connection. So speakers who build relationship effectively create a sense of community. You have community of people that you know that you can always run to, community of people that got your back, that are always there to praise you, to talk to you, to console you and all that. And another way is understanding. You understand from what your peers have said. Maybe for instance, you have a public speaking engagement and you can you can possibly present it before your community, like this kind of people that you have in your circle before you go on with your live audience. And another thing in public speaking is mutual respect. Like respect is reciprocal. The way you respect people is the way they will carry you. When you speak rudely to people around you, they take you as a rude person, and that's just it. Another key goal of public speaking is that it encourages action, such as advocacy, the way people have gone so far in the world advocating for education, quality and accessible education, women's reproductive health, mental health. We have different ways we are channeling our public speaking skills. Some people, it is teaching. I think teachers are also public speakers, just that they do it with students in the classrooms, but they've actually helped us to understand some areas, professionally. So when we talk about encouragement of action, it's a major goal of public speaking, especially in persuasive or motivational context. Like you try to motivate people from your speech, from your message. And you really need to have this at the back of your mind that you might have like 20 slides, 10 slides, 1 million slides, and it doesn't resonate with your audience, and they will not even pick up, they will not pick everything. It's just one thing, that one message that somebody will find impactful and be like, okay, fine, let me just go with this word. So like you really need to like motivate and persuade. So it also prompts the audience to take action, as public speaking helps us to like, it has been helping us to like see there has been a wide range in development and growth of in some countries, in some people's lives and all that, because it really helps people to take action. When you tell a story about yourself, of how you are who you are, and somebody is having that same struggle with you, and you're able to like tell it, you are able to be like being authentic while sharing your story, and this person says that, okay, fine, if so person can make it this far, I can also do it as well. So like you encourage your audience to like, take action. Even they might not share the action with you, they might not share that process with you, but you've imparted someone that will always do something, that will do something after your session. So whether it is donating to a cause, voting an election, or making changes in their own lives, speakers aim to move their listeners from passive engagement to like, doing something to themselves, like being able to carry themselves, being able to take something meaningful from the message or the speech. Next slide, please. All right. So this is very, very important. Like it's actually an essential part that we all really need to know. And I will tell you that I don't think there is this public speaker that has it all, or that has never experienced this, which is the art of overcoming the fear of public speaking. I know majority of us, when it comes to public speaking, that is when you hear people say, I'm an introvert, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Everybody wishes to be an introvert, even the extrovert that we have. Some of them, when it comes to public speaking is just that position you find yourself, and you'll be like, is this still me, that I'm outspoken, I'm this? You just, like the atmosphere changes. Yeah, the atmosphere changes. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to complain as I'm going to come as plain as possible to tell you that even before I started my presentation, I was already like having this doubt, having like fidgeting, how do I do this? Despite the fact that it's even a virtual program, imagine. So not to talk of people who are doing it to live audience and how they're going to feel. So how do you overcome the fear of public speaking? Firstly, accept that you can't control everything. We are humans, we are not perfect, we make mistakes. The first thing is the acceptance that you cannot control things, that things that are literally beyond your control, that you just have to accept the way they come to you, so you can just have it all. So the fact that you are a public speaker does not really mean that you can't make mistakes. You can make mistakes with some words. You can make mistakes by not saying it the way people wanted it. You can make mistakes by using some language that does not sit well with your audience. Do you get, like, these are just things that you can't control, right? And you just have to be yourself in that situation, because everybody understands that we are humans and we make mistakes. Another part is getting feedback and learning. This is very important. And I don't know if there's any other word I can use aside the emphasis on important. Like getting feedback from people and learning is very, 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 very important, because when you do something, how I started, and when I started, I will ask my friends, how was that presentation? Did I do it well? Even for the fact that I'm still in university, and after my group presentation or personal or individual presentation, I still go to my friends in class. How was my presentation? Did I do it well? What do you think I can do to improve? And when they give you this constructive feedback, it is actually very important to learn from your mistakes and make amendments and improve and grow, because it will be very bad of you when you get some feedbacks and you don't work on them and you keep making the same mistakes. So like the essence of getting feedback is just for you to like what improve on yourself and learn the better way to do things right as a public or aspiring public speaker. The third one is manage your anxiety with relaxation techniques like mindfulness, like meditation, meditate and be mindful about how you do your stuff. Manage your anxiety. Everybody has anxiety issue when it comes to facing crowd. Remember that nobody has it all, and nobody got like everybody has that like they panic, they fidget when it comes to public speaking. So you just have to take it easy, be authentic, be yourself, and manage your anxiety with meditation or mindfulness. Yeah. Thank you. Next slide, please. So I just added this to my presentation because it's actually very essential for you to be you when you are engaging audience. And as a public speaker, there's these three elements that I've actually discovered, which I'm going to talk about, which is these three things: self-development, self-discovery, and self-awareness. I usually hear this word that you can't lead others if you've not led yourself. You can't impact people if you've not impacted yourself. You can't do some things if you've not done it to yourself. It's just like you doing something very bad and you see somebody doing that same thing and you're trying to correct the person and the person looks at you and be like, are you not doing the same thing? Do you get? So in in this context of you being you, these are the three elements I would really like you to work on or to improve on. And the first one is self-development, which is the process of improving oneself through conscious effort aimed at enhancing various aspects of life, such as emotional, intellectual, physical, and spiritual well-being. How are you able to like take those constructive feedbacks to build yourself, to develop yourself, to make a better public speaker and all that? Another point is self-discovery, which involves examining your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors to understand who you are, what drives you, and what truly matters to you. And when I'm speaking about this, you need to know that you don't have to be everywhere and you don't have to do everything. Just create your niche, be you, and the real people will come for you. And I'm going to use an example of Taoma, a Nigerian skit maker. There is this gown that she wears. It's not even just Taoma. We have different people like that. That once you see this dress, you know that this is the so person. So like, just be who you are, what drives you, and what really matters to you. What do you really want to talk about? What do you really want to change? We have different public speakers and we have like they focus on different issues in the world. And for the fact that these people focus, we have them existing already and they focus on issue does not really mean that you cannot start your journey. I tell people that when 10 people come to talk to you about the same thing, they give you 10 different information. But today, as I'm speaking on public speaking, as a soft skill that we really need in this 21st century to which influence success is different from the way speakers we say, another speaker we say it. What I'm saying it will be different from, but we are still trying to like what communicate the same idea and the same message to you. So that is how you are able to know who you are and what drives you, know your niche, know what works for you, know how to improve yourself, know how to be a better person. And another aspect is self-awareness, which simply means it's just an honest assessment of your strengths, your weakness, your values, your desires, and how it plays crucial role in personal development, emotional intelligence, and effective decision. Yeah, please next slide. So these are just the tips on how to improve your public speaking skills, understand your audience. I've spoken about that. Practice delivery and body language, how you deliver the message, how you're able to communicate the idea, how you use body language, non-verbal, and how you use body language is non-verbal. How you use the non-verbal skills to communicate to your audience so they can understand what you're trying to pass on to them. Utilize visual aids effectively. Maybe, for instance, you have slides to share. Use this slide. Let this be something that will attract the audience to your presentation. Personalize the speech. Share your experiences. Give instances that the audience will be able to resonate with, and it's something that they know that, okay, fine, I'm learning this from an authentic person. I've made this mistake. This person has made the same mistake, and this is how to like improve on myself. Engage with the audience. Carry your audience along when you're engaging people, when you're having a speech, when you're talking to people. Engage them, ask questions, seek feedback, get to know their expectations, get to know their wants, get to know their needs, and let them feel the presence of being in the room. Don't just do the talking. Ask them questions and how they can improve or become better, and how useful your information or the information you're passing to them is. And another thing is record your speeches. I know many of us do this. Sometimes when we send voice note to people, you try to play it to like listen to yourself. Yeah, you can actually do that. Record it. So when you listen to it, if there's a room for improvement, you improve. And if there's like if it is perfect, you stick to that. Create a lasting impression. When it comes to creating a lasting impression, you create impression in different ways. It could be through your dressing, the hook you use. It could be anything. But just make sure that you create a lasting impression. And that was why I said that if I present 1 million slides today, it might be just one word that will resonate with somebody, and that's going to be the person's takeaway. But it's actually very important to create a lasting impression. It could be your dressing that your audience will like, will fall in love with, and that's how it changes people and all that. Another part is seek feedback and continuous improvement. Ask questions from people. You don't know it all. We all make mistakes. Yeah, even our leaders, they make mistakes. So seek feedback from your audience, from people around you. If you know you cannot reach out to your audience, seek feedback from your immediate family members and invest in continuous improvement so you can become a better person at what you do. And do question and answer sessions, and do ask questions. And I feel like in life, learning does not end. Like learning is just like a flowing river. You learn. As I'm teaching, I'm also learning. There are some areas that are actually also like I also personally want to improve on. So by the questions you ask, I can, reason it that, oh, this person asks about this, and I feel like this is something that I lack, and this is something that I can actually do about it to improve myself. So as a public speaker, it's like undo the question and answer sessions mindfully. The last one is calm your nerves. Nobody is after you. Like I said earlier, or nobody knows what you want to present to them. You are the one that knows your words. You know everything about your message. So it's just those things that you want the audience to know, that it's just that thing that comes from your mouth that the audience is going to know about your presentation. So just calm down. Like when you get on that podium, or you get on in the front, or when you're in the front of your camera or your class or wherever you are that you want to make that presentation, always remember that you really need to calm down, because your nervousness must not be noticed by the audience. It makes you a weak person. It makes them lose interest in listening to whatsoever they want to hear from you. Do you get, like, the way you present yourself? Self-presentation matters when it comes to public speaking. So even though you are scared of how to deliver, still not show it that you're scared. So just calm your nerves, because the audience are also ready to learn, and these are people that make mistakes as you are. Do you get? So like calming someone's nerve is very important when it comes to public speaking. Yeah. So next slide. Next slide, please. And so in public speaking, how can you engage your audience? You need to start with a hook. Use something very catchy to draw the attention of your audience to whatsoever message you want to pass on to them. Another point is use gestures and body language, verbal and non-verbal. Create emotional connections. Let them think, let them link whatsoever message you're passing to them with, like, let them see themselves in that situation you are presenting to them. Create emotional, logical, or ethical connection between you and your audience. Let them feel that thing that you are trying to pass on to them. Let them see themselves in that shoe or that picture you are painting. Another thing, master the art of timing. It's very bad when you don't keep to time as a public speaker, because I actually don't know if I'm keeping to time. but I hope I'm on, like, I hope I'm keeping to time, but I don't know if I'm keeping to time. So like master the art of timing, like be time conscious. When they say it is 30 minutes, deliver your message within 30 minutes, do not overdo, because with humans, attention lifespan is actually very, very short. So like you really need to do this thing when that attention is still there, when everybody is still giving you that vibe, not when you continue talking, and they get tired and they get worn out. So you just have to master the art of timing and just finish within the stipulated time. Be genuine and authentic. Be you. Like I said, nobody knows what you want to present. Share your stories, share your experiences with them so they can do what? They can connect with it. Because sometimes it actually is that when you are being authentic and people can actually connect with your story, and it helps them improve, because the essence of you public speaking is to make impact. So like be you and be authentic. Ask questions and encourage participation. Ask your audience questions, encourage them to participate, answer, be jovial, do not frown as a public speaker, smile with them. Be vulnerable and show humility, be respectful to your audience, show your vulnerability status, because everybody is vulnerable. You make mistakes, we are humans. Let them know that this is who you are. Do not overdo some certain things. Give the audience something to take away. What is that lasting lesson you want your audience to always remember about? What is that thing I want my audience to know about nexogirls upskill 2.0, or what is that important part that you've taken so far from the 8 days upskill program that we've been running? These are the things that you should also like have in mind, and like let them have that lasting impression that I got this from so thing. What is that word that people are taking home? Yeah, so please, next slide. So I'm going to be talking about tips on how to boost your confidence. Start small. Like I said, I started with my mirror in my sitting room. I started with my friends. Then from my friends, I started with my classmates, teaching them. Then from there to the assembly ground. Then from the assembly ground to the ward. So just start small. Nobody needs you to start big. Start with one person. I usually tell people that God does not trust you with 1,000 if you cannot manage 10 naira well. So you need to start from somewhere. Then from there, gradually you learn, you stick feedbacks, then you grow. Another thing is to dress for success. It's actually funny when some people come to engage their audience and they don't even have idea of what to say. It's just like you having an impromptu speech. But the way you present yourself, the way you dress, they can just pick a random person because you dress so nice. Have you ever been to that event where you look so nice and they just randomly pick you for interview or something like that? Do you get? They didn't pick you based on your capacity because they might not even know you. But for the fact that you even dress, you are already dressing for, like, you've already dressed for success. Like that attracts people to you. Do you get? Like the lasting impression that, maybe for instance, the lasting impression that the audience will take home is the way you dress during your presentation. You don't know, and like that is able, like you are able to convince them through your dressing. Engage with your audience. Engage with the audience. Carry them along. Let them feel that message you're trying to pass on to them. Embrace the power of storytelling. Use your story, true life story, fiction, non-fictional. Just use these stories to catch the attention of your audience, because I feel like storytelling is a powerful aspect of public speaking. People really like to listen to story. For someone like me, I listen to a lot of podcasts that has to do with people's life experiences and all that, rather than watching movies. So imagine someone like me going to a conference or listening to a public speaking audio or podcast, and the person started with story. I'll be fascinated to participate because of the power of storytelling. Practice positive self-talk. Encourage yourself. Tell yourself what: I'm amazing, I'm blessed, I'm awesome, I'm fantastic, I'm wonderful, I'm beautifully made. See yourself as someone that has it all. Even if you are just growing, just like just picture yourself in that place that you really want to see yourself, and before you know it, you find yourself there. Visualize success. I think that same thing that I'm still explaining. Visualize success. See yourself on that podium. See yourself that you're speaking to large people. See yourself that you're conquering your fears. See yourself that you are very confident. Visualize your sources. Dress for your sources. Sometimes you can just randomly go, dress, stand before the mirror, then make your presentation. Sometimes you can just do that to your family members. Maybe you are just coming back from church, before you remove your church dresses and all that. Just have a presentation, blah, blah, blah. Before you know it, you are becoming successful as a public speaker. Control your gestures and, connect with your purpose. How does it, like the public speaking, how does it connect with your purpose? The confidence, what you are trying to say, how does it make an impact in your life, in as much as you're trying to impact people? Reflect on your growth, appreciate yourself. Self-appreciation is very, very important. And I'm going to tell you that nobody does it better than you. So you really need to appreciate yourself for the work done, for your failures and your wins. It's not just about you celebrating your wins. You also need to celebrate your failures, because when you look at failure, it's not the opposite of success. It's an essential part of success. Yeah. Sorry, next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, what are the benefits of public speaking? I will just go through that quickly. So what are the benefits of public speaking? We have, it boosts confidence, it makes you confident person, it helps in career advancement, it gives you that connection, that professional skills, that promotion, that networking, that recognition that you want. It's also an essential part of personal development, in the essence that you become a better person, you become a better version. It's an avenue to work on yourself. It makes you an outspoken person, a good communicator to your audience. So now public speaking is a very good part of personal development. Improve communication skills. It helps you to become a better speaker. It helps you to work on your public speaking skill. It gives you that avenue to express your thoughts, your ideas, your business, your whatsoever you want to express. It helps you to improve your communication skills. New social connections. It connects you with people, like-minded people who are interested in what you do, or that part of your speaking, or that part of your engagement, maybe social impact. It gives you that connection. It's that platform. It's just that avenue to make meaningful networks and create lasting connections. Personal satisfaction. We have an expanded professional network. We have persuasive ability. It gives you that edge of, employing people to do things, letting people buy into your ideas. And I feel like marketers are very good at persuading people to get things. Inspire people. It helps you to reach out to people, to inspire people, to talk to them, to give them hope that the situation they are is not final, that there's always a light at the end of every tunnel. So it actually inspire people, it draws people closer. And another aspect is that it develop leadership skills. It makes you a better leader. It gives you that avenue to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn skills and how to be better, how to carry people along, how to manage your team, and how to be successful. Eliminating the fear of impromptu speaking. Whenever you go to an event, be ready. You might be randomly picked for an interview, or you might be asked a random question. So always prepare yourself, and it helps you to eliminate the fear of impromptu speaking. Master the art of argumentation. It's usually very, very important to argue, but you need to make a logical argument. Not all arguments are valid. So it helps you to become a better argumentator. So it also enhances your listening skills, but because as a public speaker, you really need to pay attention. You really need to be attentive. So it helps you with your listening skills. Okay, I have a video. I don't know if I still have time for us to watch the video before I conclude. Hi, Annie.
Hello, I'm with you.
All right, so I have a video, so I don't know if you can watch the video before I conclude.
Does video have a link? If it does, you can just put it in the comment section.
Let me
So we
check.
can
Let
share
me
that
check
because of time.
my own
It's in the
screen
next
so I
slide.
can play the video. Okay. Oh, okay. No problem then. All right. So I'm going to be sharing this. The team is going to be sharing the video on the group because of time. Time is not on our side, and I'm so sorry because we had a lot of, network issue. So in conclusion, it's actually very important to know that public speaking is a powerful tool for communication. It helps us to communicate our ideas and our thoughts, our minds, our emotions. It helps us in persuading people to buy into our ideas, and it can avenue to improve our leadership skills. So the ability to speak clearly, confidently, and persuasively is a vital skill that everyone needs to have or need to possess in this age that we are, because I don't think this I don't think there's that place or there's that situation you find yourself that you don't really need to talk. So you have to talk because it's just normal thing that we do daily. So as the world becomes more interconnected, the influence of public speaking will continue to shape ideas, how you think, how you reason, how you like it influences decisions making, policy making, and it inspire action. Like I said earlier on, we've been able to like solve some of what problem through public speaking. So it's really an avenue to inspire action. And lastly, the responsibility of a public speaker is immense, as the word spoken today can have a profound impact on the world tomorrow. So like the kind of like, for instance, speakers like Martin Luther King is late now, but his words are still being used. So like Fela Nicola Pokuti, his songs are still being used. So like if it doesn't work today, it will surely work tomorrow. People will always make reference to it. So that's how public speaking is.
All right. Thank you so much for that full. I could listen to you talk all day. You really are a great public speaker, and your expertise is greatly appreciated. You've shared so much insights into the art of public time. I have many questions,
Okay.
but fortunately, audience, if you have any question, you can put that in the comment section, and they're going to respond to all of that. Thank you so much, Ms. Salima. So we'd have to take a picture together. You are CEO, so I'm sure you know our sign when we want to take a picture when we do this. So can I have your all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Lima. I'll be inviting Miss Eunice Klimradi to take over from here on. Miss Eunice,
Thank
are
you.
you there?
It's an honor to speak tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eniola, for that beautiful introduction. Hi, thank you so much, Salimat, as well. And Salimat, thank you for putting me on the spot and for the shout out. I mean, Salimat and I met many years ago when we were still back in high school, and we met from one of the competitions that we represented our school at. And just to say this, right, if Salimat wasn't she didn't practice her stage fright that she mentioned having, on the stage back in, school, then she would probably not be selected to go represent the school, because the school is not going to pick somebody who has stage fright to represent them at a competition. Neither would they pick somebody that is not intelligent. So to be a very good public speaker, you need to overcome your stage fright. And listening to Salimat share her experience of how she was able to overcome that, I think if you did not get what she said during that time, you need to go back and rewatch the video after the live ends today. All right, so quickly, I'm just going to be sharing my screen, and apologies for the time spent. I know we've overused our time, but please bear with us. And today is the last day, so you should be able to give us your time today. Today is the last day. And just quick one, I have a few announcements right here. So in the group chat, we ran if you are not in the WhatsApp group chat, then you're missing. But if you're the WhatsApp group chat, you already know that there is an announcement today. And just before I start reading out any of the announcements, every additional info, because now we're just going to be keeping it short because of time, but every additional information about each of these announcements will be sent via email, and it will also be sent to the WhatsApp group. So please, if you at least do not check your email, make sure to check the WhatsApp group for these messages, because I bet you do not want to miss out of this. So the first announcement is that to get your certificate of participation for being a participant at Upskill 2.0, you're going to need to fill a form. And after you fill that form, you're going to get your certificate by the first week of January 2025. So just know that if you did not fill that form, there is no certificate for you. And we hope that a form is something that is too small for you to fill. You should be able to fill the form within a short period of time. And I just remembered right now that I did not mention my name earlier, although Eniola kind of mentioned it. But I am Eunice Adeosi, by the way, and I am the founder of Nexogirls, and I'm really excited. I'm excited that the Upskill 2.0 has finally ended today, and I'm also not really excited because I won't get to interact with each of you via video calls like this. But if you join Nexogirls' community, we're definitely going to have more programs coming up for you in 2025. Then the second thing is the free gifts, which I know everybody is excited about. Majority are excited about this free gift, and it is LinkedIn Premium for 3 lucky participants who can showcase what they have learned within these 8 days. So whatever it is that you've learned within these 8 days, if you can showcase what you have learned, you are liable to getting LinkedIn Premium account. And this is only for 3 people. So if I were you now, I would start collating all the things that I've learned in these 8 days for me to, put it out there immediately the information has been sent out. And the last thing is that you should make a post of your Upskill 2.0 experience on social media. You can do video, and that's even how we get to know that you really utilize your public speaking skills. When you use videos and you're not shy, and you can boldly say the things that you've learned for day 1 to day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and down to day 8. Also tag us. We are Nexogirls on every platform. Nexogirls as in Nexogirls. We are Nexogirls on all platforms. So remember to tag us and also use these hashtags. So these hashtags you are seeing on your screen right now: hashtag Nexogirls Upskill Program, hashtag Upskill 2.0, hashtag Nexogirls, hashtag 8 skills in 8 days. That's the way we're going to easily see your post, and we can, repost as well, and also count you amongst the lucky winners for the prizes. Now, moving on, I want to say a very, very big thank you. I know this is coming as a surprise because they did not know I was going to do a shout out to them. But thank you so much to each of these persons who have contributed to Upskill 2.0. These are the moderators for the 8 days. On day 1, I had myself. Day 2 was Theodora. We had God's Favor as well. We had Chinonto. We had Benita. We had Idara. And we had Eniola, who moderated beautifully today. So I want to say
on behalf of, the founder, which is me, on behalf of the CEO as well, on behalf of the other members, and even on behalf of the Upskill 2.0 participants, I want to say a very big thank you to the organizing team. We did it, guys. We did it, ladies, right? We did it, and today is the last day of Upskill 2.0. So thank you. Our work, our efforts, our sleepless nights, our late nights has finally, become a success, and we couldn't have done this program without you all. So we want you people to know that from the depth of our hearts, we say thank you so much for organizing this program with us, for moderating, for taking sessions, for doing, there's a lot that went into this program, from finding the speakers to creating agenda to creating documents, events, briefs. So I tell you, this event that you see us putting out here, it took a lot of late nights, and these are the brains behind this program. So very big thank you to you all, and I hope that by the time we're doing Upskill 3.0, at least we'll still have some of you volunteering with nexogirls. Thank you very much. And now the last thing is thank you as well to all of our participants. Thank you so much for joining from day 1 to day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally we are here for day 8. Thank you so much for joining and for asking questions, because even if the team put together this program and you do not join, then there is no need for us putting it together. I mean, you guys are still the backbone of Upskill 2.0 program. So thank you so much for attending, and if you are as excited as we are, then I'm sure that you're going to post on social media about your Upskill 2.0 experience. So follow us on social media, on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, or Twitter, Instagram. Follow us on all social media. In case you cannot type, maybe you're too lazy to type nexogirls on your phone, just scan this QR code that you're seeing on my screen right now. And well, this is more like a goodbye, and it is not a goodbye as well. If you're in the WhatsApp group and we have your email address, you're definitely going to be hearing from our team by the end of this year and also by next year. But this is an official goodbye, and this is an official closure of Upskill 2.0. Yeah, we did it, guys. We did it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And see you at Upskill 3.0. More communications will be passed out. Follow us on social media so that you will know when Upskill 3.0 is being announced. And I want to see you there. We want to feature your testimonials. We want to feature your testimonials. So make sure to drop your testimonials when we request for them. Thank you, and see you at Upskill 3.0. Bye.